Do you, James A. Beller, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and honestly discharge the duties of my office as councilman of the town of Goodland, according to the law and to the best of your ability, so help me God?
I do.
Do you, Jacob Rudisil, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Indiana, and that you will faithfully, impartially, and honestly discharge the duties of your office as councilman of the town of Goodland, according to the law and to the best of your ability, so help me God?
I do.
Thank you, Tina.
Thank you.
Next thing, we have to elect a president.
Make a motion to elect Jim.
A second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up is our shut-off list. I'm going to read a list of names, addresses, and amounts. And after I get done, and if there's anyone here for any of these properties, that'll be your time to speak. Naomi Wilson, 211 North Newton, 11494. Brandon Wood, 138 West Mill, 12058. Ryan Murphy, 233 West Prairie, 12758. Amanda Chilcott, 125 North James, 12984. Barbara Bushman, 202 East Union, 8034. Is there anybody here for any of these properties? Entertain a motion to disconnect.
So moved.
Been moved. We have a second.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And we have, being the first meeting of the year, we have to designate a depository for the town notices. Do you want Newton County Enterprise?
Yes, please.
And we have to designate a town attorney. I would make a motion that we adopt the firm of Barse Redland for our town attorney.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And also, we need a motion for the town newspaper, being the Newton County Enterprise.
I'll make a motion.
It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The schedule for the 2025 regular meeting for the town council, keeping it on the third Monday of the month at 7 o'clock.
So moved.
Second it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Town depository,
First Financial Bank.
First Financial.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We did the president, building inspector, Mr. John.
What I did?
Still willing to be the building inspector?
I don't care.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unsafe buildings. Jeff.
The first one is 129 West Prairie Street, and here for that.
I am
And what's your name, please?
Cody Spear on
Okay.
behalf of Marlon Burton.
Sure.
Personal representative of the states of Aberdeen and Frank Burton.
And you're going to provide an update on the lawsuit.
Correct. So an amended complaint was filed in response to the motion to dismiss that I filed an amended motion to dismiss that's currently set for hearing on March 25th of 25. And I have given the occupants until the 30th to vacate the premises, otherwise I'll initiate the eviction proceedings. The roof and porch have been repaired, and I did not have time to print them off, but I did bring pictures in case you're interested in taking a look. But it does appear that the issue which brought up upon the original sanctions has been rectified.
If you had a chance to look at that, John?
The front porch isn't done unless they did it this afternoon.
Oh, okay, then there must be something else that, and I'll get with, Mr. Burton's been ill, so I haven't had a chance to actually speak with him and speak with other family members, but be happy to discuss it and see what else needs to be accomplished.
Your eviction on the 30th, was it the 30th of January or the 30th of March?
January is the deadline to vacate the premises.
So that's when you gave them a notice to quit, then you file for a...
Correct, and there is no landlord-tenant relationship, just trying to provide a courtesy and avoid a needed expense, if at all possible, for on behalf of the estate.
Yes. Understand. I was looking to see what the action items in the unsafe building order were: remove trash debris and fire hazardous material, repair the exterior to make it compatible in appearance with other buildings in the area, remove the porch, and repair the roof.
I know the roof for sure was repaired. I do see in the picture that there does appear to be some debris that can be cleaned up. I guess specifically, I mean, it's a stone porch, and so the removal of the porch is removing the entire exterior, which was the roof that had to be repaired. So I guess maybe there's a little confusion as to what's being requested of that.
The inside of the porch, the ceiling is falling down. So if somebody walks through there, they can hit their head on like 1x4s, tuck and seal, tiny groove. And then on the outside, the screens are all blowing in the wind. But other than that, that's it.
On the windows, John? On the
No,
windows?
Screens.
Screen to porch.
So you can have those things fixed in 30 days?
Barring any interference, as we run into last time, it is still my intention, if we run into any future interference, to seek an emergency injunction to avoid any further issues there. 30 days, I imagine we can get it scheduled, get a crew out there well within that time. Interference might prolong it, but I'd be happy to come back in 30 days to report.
I'll make a motion, we give him another 30 days.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And Tina, what's the date of that hearing?
The 17th.
February 17th at 7 o'clock? Mr. Spears?
I'm sorry?
February 17th at 7 o'clock?
Wonderful, thank you.
The next one is 321 South James Street. And Karen Rogers, is she here? Michael Manis and Karen Rogers appeared on November 25th. Closing on the sale will be any day now. Waiting on wire of funds to Manuel Moran. Is he here? Okay.
Karen
Fine.
Rogers called me, excuse me, and she said that the house sold to H&M Properties Management, which is Manuel Moran, on December the 20th. But I did tell her that she still needed to come to this board meeting.
Let me see what needed to be done.
Might be easier to say what didn't need to be done.
Is that right? There was a kind of a long list here. Report when the property is transferred, so that was done. Clean up the junk, trash, and debris in the yard.
Now they're working on it. They're a little bit on the inside too.
The new owners are working on it.
Yeah.
Remove boarded windows and if necessary, repair windows. Either repair the front porch or remove it and repair the front exterior. Remove brush and trees around the structure. Fix the back porch roof or tear off the roof and repair the exterior. Install doors to close the garage and remove the brush pile in the yard. And it was set for, there was a $2,500 fine held in abeyance as long as the work was completed on or before January 20, 2025.
And you're saying it has not been
It's
completed?
not completed, no. But they have been working on the building. They've cleaned up a lot in the yard, but there's a lot of limbs down in the back that was there when the other guy was renting it, I guess. So it's been there for a year anyway. I guess these new people's gonna take care of it. I don't know who owns it, so.
I'm not sure who H&M is, but I'm sure I can find out where their tax bills are being sent.
Yeah, I have a phone number for Manuel Moran, the new owner.
Was he the person that came
Yeah.
a couple, 3 months ago?
Last month, I think,
Last month.
actually.
No, that was McGill
Oh,
that lives on South James. Manuel lives in Larry Hall's old house on Mill Street, right next door to your mom and dad's old house. They own quite a few properties here in town.
What do you want to do? You want to give him,
I think since he just got it in December and he's working on it already, we need to just give him a little more time to get it
and
cleaned
get in
up.
touch with them and have them communicate with us?
Yeah,
Is that a motion?
I make that as a motion. I'd
Second.
give him.
Then
I can send you his information
Please do.
tomorrow.
And was it 30 or 60 days?
60 days with the weather, I'd say. Let's have him come in 30 days. So moved.
Second.
30
It's
days.
been moved and seconded.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And the last one is 109 West North Street. Is anyone here for 109 West North Street? From November 25th, Tina Terry failed to appear. The board found it was an unsafe building. Ordered the work be completed within 30 days. There were holes in the roof, replaced the gutters, and fascia, brush in the back of property, and there was a review hearing set for tonight. And they signed for the green card.
Have we had any contact with her at all?
I have not.
The unsafe building order that she was sent on November 25th said exterminate vermin in and about the unsafe premises, remove trash debris and fire hazardous materials, and repair the roof.
The main thing is the roof, they haven't touched it. Looks like somebody's worked on the east side of the house. Did some cleaning up there. Some of that was supposed to be done a year ago, when we first started on that house.
What are our options, Judd?
So a year ago, huh? This was, I just want to see when it started, at least for us. Because there's not a whole lot of notes from prior hearings. This started with a hearing in October. So you can, it was
I think it's the second round. I think we chased her for a while.
November 18th.
Yeah, I think we chased her for a while and then let her go.
Oh, gotcha.
And then came back.
She was served. You could find that she's willfully failed to comply and impose a fine, or impose a fine and hold it in abeyance and continue it. But if it's a roof problem, you're probably going to have to set it for a review hearing more than 30 days out.
There's a hole in the roof.
Is there someone living there? Are they living there?
No, no one's living there.
What it is it's a sunlight.
Yeah.
And you can tell that it's caved in.
Well, it certainly is willful. So I would say, I propose a fine of $2,500, and she's to report in 30 days.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, that's all.
Anything else, John?
One building permit. REMC, they put a new shed up there.
Anybody have anything else for John? Financials, Tina?
At the end of December, we ended in our general with $458,117.81. Water operating ended with $59,703.53. Sewer, $70,458.99. Trash, $34,059.76. It gives us a grand total of $1,911,087.52.
And
ordinance up there to amend the 2025 salary ordinance. When I was putting in the new budget for 2025, I noticed that the building inspector and the fire chief, I did not get their 3% increase on the first salary ordinance, so that's amending, fixing their salary.
Make a motion that we adopt this ordinance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anything else, Tina?
No.
Fire department.
Since the November council meeting, there have been 19 EMS calls, 2 fire calls, 3 EMS mutual aid calls, or call-outs for Goodland to respond, and 4 mutual aid call-outs for Goodland to respond. Goodland Fire, combined total calls for 2024 was 225, which is 55 more calls than the past 7 years. Department inventory is underway. The grant was filed accordingly through Kirksey for a new pumper, just awaiting confirmation of process from Emily. Newton County 911 Board has issued brand new portable radios to the department at a cost of $3,800 apiece, no cost to us. And they'll also be issuing brand new mobile radios. They're ours, we own them. They do not own them. It was all through grant money through 911. And the EMS crew will be issued a brand new Lucas resuscitation device at the end of the month. After we complete the training at the government center that does the compressions, we don't have to do them anymore. And that was valued at $38,000. Excuse me.
With the new radios, do you still have a repeater for on the tower?
Yeah.
And do the new radios work with that repeater? So do the radios work well communicating back and forth?
Yes.
No issues whatsoever?
No, not like we had before.
Okay.
And it's changed multiple times, but I believe they're putting up 2 towers in the county that are 300 feet tall, which is 220 some feet higher than we have now. So the communications will expand.
But since we already have our own tower, ours will,
Yeah, we're good.
we're
Yeah.
good either way. Is that it?
Yep.
We have a contract for fire protection from Union Township for a total of $2,850 for the year for 2025. How's that compare with what they paid before, do you know?
Oh, it hasn't changed in 4 years.
I would suggest that this needs to be changed and increased by, what, 25%?
I would say so.
With the increase in calls, yeah.
So, you want to go back to them, Tina, and tell them that they need to increase this by at least 25%? Anything else, Ryan?
Can I get a copy of that when I leave? I just sort of reviewed it.
Anybody have anything else for Ryan?
No.
Police Department, Dylan.
We had 30 calls, 5 were handled by the county, 8 was handled by us, 17 public service. I handled 2, deputy 6, no arrests, no tickets, 2 warnings, no ordinance violations. We also were a recipient of the radios. We received 3 portables, and we'll get 2 mobiles, 1 for each vehicle. Same as all the fire departments got.
Okay. Is that it?
Yep.
Anybody have anything for Dylan?
Nope.
Street, water, and sewer case.
For streets, we have sent Ken Smith the list of the roads to be paid for the January community crossing grant application. I believe that closes here next couple weeks, so we should be hearing prices here before too long. Sewer, we finally have enough ditch flow to discharge from the lagoons. The stream flow was lower than I've ever seen it for an extended period of time since it was so dry. So we finally have flow out there and we can start discharging. Things are looking good. Mall Hops was supposed to be here today to repair a door at the wastewater plant. The cylinder started to get loose and Dustin's key actually got stuck in the lock. So they haven't done it yet, but I'll get hold of them in the morning. For water, we have repaired and set a new meter pit at 623 South Newton. That water hadn't been turned on in 20, 30 years, so we had to completely redo that one. When weather allows, we will be doing another round of flushing for the hydrants. For parks, we have still been trying to obtain quotes for boring that sewer line at the Foster Park buildings. The guy that was supposed to do it left on vacation, and it's a whole long story. I don't remember all the stuff, but it's been a pain. And then we have given the quote, given the okay for Wiseman Tree Service to proceed with the tree removal at the pond. I'm assuming he's gonna wait for it to warm up just a little bit before he starts that, but we are on the schedule. So, and that's it for me.
Wasn't there gonna be some trees removed from the park as well?
Which part? This one right here.
Wasn't there some dead trees in the park that needed to come out?
Yeah.
There's a few at I think what we have there is at the pond.
Okay.
I don't think there was any dead ones at the park, from what I can remember.
Well, take a look at the park and,
Yep. Do that.
is that it, Case?
Yes, that's it.
Anybody have anything for Case? John?
That water, fire hydrant there at Bear Quarries in Wayland that's been knocked over for years.
That has been disconnected for a long
They've
time.
never done a,
Probably as long as
I
I've
knew
been
that, but or they haven't done put a new fire hydrant in.
Didn't we put one in?
So the closest one,
Mike Pugh has one down there.
yes,
Yeah, and don't we have one closer to,
there's one right across the street from Dollar General. There is not one, there's one around the corner on Monroe in between the corner house and Trish's. So that would be that one, Dollar General, and over by Mike Hughes. Those would be the three that are there.
well, we're gonna be doing some infrastructure,
Correct.
so maybe we could, right there.
If nothing else, take it out.
But it does need to, yeah, it does need to
It
come
does.
out. Yeah. Is it connected to anything?
I've been told no, but I've also been told things that were not true. So I have not confirmed that it's disconnected. But the fact, I mean, that thing's been laying over like that since
Years.
before I was a kid. And so if it's not leaked now, I would assume it's been disconnected.
Well, maybe when we do the infrastructure in that area, maybe we could dig and see, make sure it's not, and if it is, jerk it out of there, and then maybe we could arrange for another fire hydrant when we're doing that work.
Yes.
You guys okay with that?
I think it needs to be done.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody have anything else for Case? Judd?
The only thing I've got is the Gold Torch Solar Farm agreements. We're working on those. You'll see them in draft before they will. Because I've got several questions about our solar ordinance, and it provided for like an application fee and per megawatt fees, and we didn't really talk about that. And is that rolled into the economic development payment, or I need some guidance on that before I send it to the other side.
You need that guidance tonight, or would we
No, let's
think about it for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll send you the language so you can see what's causing the thoughts.
Yeah, and you're gonna roll things into it, like if they tear up any roads, they have to replace them.
Yes.
Yeah, all the standard stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's all.
Anybody have anything for Judd?
What is the status on the solar farm?
We met with them on, what day was that?
Tuesday.
Last-
Tuesday?
This past Thursday.
Or Thursday.
Thursday,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday of last week. We went back and forth quite a bit. We proposed some things, they proposed some things. Jed's gonna put some things together and send to them. We're still in the negotiating stage, so we really haven't agreed to anything yet. It looks very promising, but it's a step procedure where it has to go to what, probably planning commission first and then
BZA first.
then BZA and then finally ends up here. So there's a lot of steps that has to be taken legally, and that's what we're in the process of doing. Once we work through those steps, then we'll have more things that we can vote on and agree on and see where it's going.
Is it gonna be a community solar farm where anything goes to the town, or?
It'll all go on the grid. Yeah, it'll just all go on the grid and
Go to New York?
Going on.
Electricity in California,
It'll be going on the NIPSCO substation out here.
yeah.
so that's it, Judd?
That's it.
Jamie Sherman.
I'm gonna read this real quick because it explains a quick bit.
Wait a minute, what's the subject matter here?
Officer Denton. On September 3rd, or September 6th, he came to a call to my residence. And during this call, he not only threatened me, he violated HIPAA rights, he lied to DCS, committed perjury, lying on a probable cause affidavit, and did police misconduct. This caused me to be falsely arrested and accused. However, luckily the prosecutor saw through that and they're dropping the charges. But I have already damaged with the situation. I lost funds because of this, because, you know, I had to sit in jail. I could have lost my job. I could have lost my son. I could have, I was suspended from my charity groups. It has caused a lot of damage to my life. I don't feel safe in the city. I don't feel safe in my own home. I have PTSD now. I have anxiety. I have depression. I have to take medication every day and go to therapy because of all this. I would like for him to be fired. I would like a formal investigation to be done. There is body cam footage. I do have a copy of that, proving everything that I am saying. Like I said, I want something to be done. I want proof that something is being done. And yeah, I would like compensation for what your guys' employee has done to me.
I would like to see that. Is that like a file that you can email to us?
I will have to probably give you a flash drive or something. However, I mean, with the police department, they should have a copy of it because that's how we obtained it.
Do you have a copy of that, Dylan?
Prosecutor does.
Could you get us a copy? Okay, get us a copy. I understand that that officer has been put on administrative leave. Is that
Yes.
true? So, yeah. Get us a copy of that. Give us something in writing so that we can, you know, list out the things that you're talking about, so that we can take a look at it and just see what's going on. And we'll go from there.
Okay. Thank you.
Bradley Showalter, 302 East Jasper. He's asking for a sewer cost reduction. He had a hot water heater burst in the basement sometime between December 30th and December 31st. And the night all the water has went into his basement drain, basically. Do you know anything about this?
I was filled in a little bit, it didn't go down the.
Didn't go down the sewer? Okay. I'll make a motion that we give him sewer credit.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And this one is David Chevrette, December 20th, received a water bill for $284. Water leak was somewhere, it was on the main line from the meter under his house. Then he got another bill for $900. Did he do anything about that one?
Last I heard, I mean, we shut that one off, right? That's the one I disconnected the meter because it was leaking past the shut off for now.
No, that's the one that had the leak during Christmas and Dustin came over and shut it
That
off on North James.
Yes. Yeah, that one was out in the yard.
So it did not go down the sewer? Make a motion that we give the sewer credit for that one also.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And this one is Sergio Reyes.
Yes.
Outside water spigot from 10:20, it leaked from 10:25 to 11:25. Do anything about that one?
He's the one on my street that lives in the blue house. So, my husband caught it. What happened was the outside hydrant had a hose hooked up to it. And we were leaving one day and it had his whole side yard had froze over to nothing but solid sheet ice. So Mike went over and unhooked it, and then we told him about it, but it did not go down the sewer.
Make a motion that we give him the sewer leak as well, or credit as well.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, anybody else have anything they'd like to discuss with the council?
I have some social media announcements.
Okay?
I'm just gonna read it off so I don't forget anything. Starting next month, we are bringing pickleball to the Goodland Town Hall Gym. Whether you're a seasoned player or new to the game, everyone is welcome. The town council is providing the paddles and the balls to borrow if you don't have your own. So far, we have a few dates available on Sundays through May. Dates and times are currently posted on Facebook. I will also post this information as a comment under the live stream video. Future dates will be announced as they become available. Please note that the gym times posted will be reserved for pickleball players only. Games are on a first come, first served basis with a 1 hour time limit per group. Participants will need to sign a waiver before playing, and they will be available on site. Thank you to our volunteers for making this happen. Also, the Goodland Library is looking for creative, enthusiastic volunteers to lead arts and crafts for their patrons. Whether you're passionate about painting, knitting, or any other form of art, they would love to share your talent with their community. If you're interested in inspiring creativity and making a difference, please contact Steve, our library director. And that's all I have.
I got one thing. Victorious Life Church, we're supposed to have their free meal tomorrow, and it has been postponed till Tuesday, January 28th.
Okay. I will also post that under the video and on Facebook.
I received a call from Evan Kendig saying that Newton County Economic Development is needing a representative from the Goodland area to serve on that board, and he would like to volunteer for that position. I have not heard a word from the county on any of that, but I would not be surprised if they are looking for somebody. If they are indeed doing that, I'd be happy to nominate Evan for that position.
That's for the Newton County.
Newton County Economic Development.
I think it's the Newton County Town Council, and it's the Goodland Economic Development Representative.
Okay.
That's what Heidi McCord told me.
The Newton County Town Council doesn't really make any sense. But there is a Newton County Economic Development Board, and they do like to have a representative from the various towns, so,
Okay.
yeah. Evan
Yeah, I
wants,
might be confused.
okay, so Evan would like to do that. He'd volunteered for that. I'll make a motion that we appoint him.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody else have anything for the council?
I would like to introduce myself. I'm Heather Hollingsworth. I took over the Goodland Athletic Association president position back in November. And I just wanted to touch base on a few topics that was told to me. This year, we're expecting weed fees possibly to be a little bit higher. The last 2 years, they went up by at least $1,000. So we're requesting the town to help us with weed fees if possible.
With what kind of fees?
Weed fees to like keep the fields nice,
okay.
weed free if possible. In 2023, it was $1,600. In 2024, it was $1,775 total cost.
What do they have in their budget, Tina? $16,481.85.
That sounds about right for total.
Yeah, at the end of the year, that's what they have in their fund.
And then another thing I was wanting to ask is about handicap signs for ADA compliance out at the fields, and parking lots. Currently, we don't have any type of parking spots for anyone who would require that kind of accessibility. And I have had a few people say something to me about having trouble getting around and not being able to find a parking spot, whether they're parking in that little slanted grass there by the pole, electric pole. So I was kind of wondering if there's any possible way we could get any handicap signs or just something to make it a little bit more accessible to everybody in the community, especially people that are harder to get around.
How many spots are you interested in?
At least I'd say 2 to 3.
You guys have any problem with that?
I wouldn't, I don't know how that correlates with having a gravel driveway for handicapped, I don't know.
It's more or less, if they're on that little slanted part there in the grass that leads to the county road, we had a few people fall. And I don't want any kind of liability issues if someone falls out there, especially if they're required to have a wheelchair or a hover. I know some people had to hover around, but not everybody, of course, has that. So if we could at least give them a spot closer to the walking area, where if they do have a little bit of trouble walking, they can maybe not have to walk as far.
Jed, do we have a responsibility to have a paved surface if we establish handicap parking?
I don't know the answer to that, but I gotta believe yes. It can't be, I'm positive you can't have, trying to think what Fowler had this come up at their park like 20 years ago. I'll have to get you an answer. I don't know the answer to that.
We'll have to look into that.
Okay, and another topic was a security light by the concession stand that I believe has been brought up possibly last year, according to Sarah. So I was wondering if there's any possible way we could get a security light out there, especially if we're out there at nighttime. It's a little creepy being out there in the dark.
Is there a light there now?
The only thing we do is we use flashlights.
I don't have a problem with the security light.
No.
There used to be a light out there.
I say, it seemed like there used to be.
I don't know if it's just not working at the moment or if it needs bulbs changed.
So my second question was gonna be, is that through NIPSCO or is it through us?
I would say that'd probably be RMC, because I think they've done a lot of the stuff past the meter in the past.
Like Wilkes did a lot of that, didn't he?
Case, could you look in there and see if there is an existing light?
Over by the concession stand, you said.
Yes.
And if it is, what it takes to get it working again, and if it's not, then we'll have to look into it further.
And then what's the status on our water leak by the shed? Has it been repaired or is it just the water's been shut
The
off?
water's shut off for the winter, and everything's been winterized. When it warms up, and the new water line will be
Okay. I know our season is probably gonna start towards the last weekend of April, possibly the first weekend of May, and of course, sometimes it's really cold then, or it's really warm, so we have really no way of knowing what the weather's gonna be like, but try and get some things organized here, so.
Okay, is that it?
That's it.
Okay, if you can, come back to our next meeting,
Okay.
and maybe Case will have some more information, and Joe will have some more information, and we'll figure out where we're going.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
Anybody else?
The preliminary on the ADA parking lot is yes, it must be paved.
Really?
I just Googled it and it's popping up with that's ADA required.
Does the whole parking lot have to be paved, or just those spots?
Spots.
Parking lots are Firm, stable, and slip resistant to ensure safe passage for people using mobility devices.
So if we put up handicap parking, then it must be paved. But if we don't put up handicap parking, then it doesn't have to be paved.
Correct.
Is that true?
I think you gotta have it ADA accessible. I think all the facilities for the town have to be ADA compliant.
So you're saying we have to have a paved area no matter what?
I am, but I'm not saying how big it is, and I'll get you an answer on that. If it can just be certain, if you could just do like 3 spaces or 2 spaces.
Because at that point, we have to do those spaces, and then that little path that goes up to the concession stand, and then probably something out to the bathrooms. Which was in the talks with Sarah at 1.2. She was talking about doing concrete in between the fields going to the bathrooms. But we were waiting for the water to get fixed before the concrete went down.
Right. Okay. Well, in that case, we better get some quotes, would you say? Would you guys say?
Yes.
Yes.
Better get some quotes to do that.
For the whole parking lot or the?
I'll get you, I'll include you on the email of the dimensions that we're gonna need.
New water sewer line, cement, handicap parking,
And light,
and light.
and light. No, not the whole parking lot, just big enough for for like 3 handicap spaces, I think. Although I think there's really a formula for that, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
For how many handicap spaces you have to have?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm sure there is too. I'll find it.
Okay, all right.
I think that's what it's gonna be. The size will be based on how many spaces we must have.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, but I've had to like actually hold someone's hand and walk with them just to make sure that they didn't fall this past spring. So I just want to make sure nobody gets hurt, especially anyone who's older, especially my parents' age. I just would not want to see that.
We have insurance? Okay. That concludes all of our agenda items. Or were you done? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Were you done? Okay. That concludes all of our agenda items. We'll be up here reviewing and signing claims. After that, I make a motion we adjourn.
A motion to adjourn.
Yeah. Second.
Second.
Yeah.
3/24, probably next go.
Yep.